allowed to record. Okay.
I am recording. Here we go.
Good. Okay.
Posies and readies. Posies and readies. Who's got the posies? Who's got the readies? Who's got the posies? Who's got the readies? Who's got the posies? Who's got the readies? Puzzle
Who's
man
got the
come.
posies and who's got the readies? Puzzle man come.
Okay, so I guess I should say, when you said you wanted to do the sea shanties thing, I've seen it on Twitter. I've never clicked into it, so I don't know what they sound like. I just know what they look like.
All right, well then, JBC, you kick us off and show us what they look like.
And we'll join your sea shanty.
Okay, let's see.
Or how'd you call it? A tea shanty.
I need to get a longer beard. I'll just do fingers.
Okay, there's nothing coming out of his mouth.
Oh, there wouldn't be. For what it looks like, there wouldn't be.
Okay, I have to slow us down really quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is your beard? It went like this, and then it went like this.
Aaron, as you can see, I looked to my right. I looked to my left. I didn't see
one of you was not going to make it to the end of the program.
I didn't see anything that was beard-like.
Oh, hold on, let me look around. I don't see a guitar. I'll just use fingers.
What's up, guys?
I just says posy. Every sea shanty I sing turns into what's that song? So look away, look away, look away. Do.
Oh, what is that?
Les Mis?
What is that song? That's right, Les Mis.
Look away, you're standing in your grave.
Well, I sell a loaf of bread and I went to jail and I can't get out unless I post bail.
Is that what those sea shanties sound like? They're just like again, like I said, I've seen them. I have not ever clicked one because they're all on TikTok and I refuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sound like Irishy music.
They sound like Scottish, Irishy, wailing music. It's basically like if you, I don't know how to articulate this. If you take the Decemberists catalog,
okay,
and put it through a filter, a Scottish filter, I guess.
Huh.
So yeah, it's awesome.
Which sucks to me to say, like, wailing music is like this because Decemberists clearly took their music, so I don't want to appropriate from Wailers. Not afraid.
Yeah, there's that. I mean,
you're digging your grave.
that age old
look away. Digging grave.
The age old battle between the Decemberists and the Whalers.
The two hockey teams, two best hockey teams.
Red Sox and Yankees, and then Decemberists and Whalers.
Oh yeah, I think I would love a Decemberists logo hat like they would have for like NBA and NFL and what's NHL? Yeah.
NHL. I have some Whalers hats.
No, but I want one that's a Decemberists hat.
I'm sure
they'd be like, what's my favorite? Oh yeah, the Portland Decemberists. They're my favorite.
Okay, I'm putting a note in my phone to get JPC a hat that says the Portland Decemberists.
The Portland Malloys.
How are you two doing?
Decemberists fan. I told this right before we started recording, but we had a bit of a scare this past weekend where Brisket was acting real weird. We had to take him to the ER. It was a whole to-do, and they didn't pump his stomach, but they scoped his stomach or something, and they took out about 3 pounds of debris, which I showed you guys. It's mostly ribbons,
which you promised you'd save for me in case I get hungry.
Roast beef with gravy debris. But I feel like, yeah, his stomach was a little party box.
A junk drawer.
His stomach was basically the junk drawer. So I don't know how he got into all that stuff, but he's healthy and okay. But it was a bit of a scare.
Well, all I know is that you brought your fucking cat when I went to nationals last year for ribbon dancing. And then 5 minutes before my performance, none of my gear is anywhere to be seen. The judges,
and you just had to use your fingers.
You still won.
I know. I won a bronze. That's not that for nationals. That's not very good. The judges took pity on me.
And I said,
you and a bunch of 11-year-old girls too. I don't even know how you were allowed to enter into that.
I whipped their fucking asses too.
Well, I told Brisket the other morning. I said the ribbons were inside you the whole time.
That's true.
You were right. Well, I'm sorry. That's not pet stuff can be so scary and expensive, but mostly scary. So I'm sorry.
Mostly expensive. More expensive than scary, I'll say.
Yeah, it can,
horrible.
It can be. That's also just very stressful. I'm glad that Brisket's okay. I'm glad that everything worked out well. I'm glad that they let you keep that bag of ribbons.
They did. They sent it home with us. They're like, "Do you want us to toss us?" And we're like, "No. This is a lesson. that every morning we're gonna start the day by holding this in front of his face, like we're parents who just found drugs under his bed, and we're gonna say, "What's this?"
When I was 14, I had an ingrown toenail. So like my toenail on my big toe had like grown into the toe, and I had to go for like what's it called? Like it's surgery, right? Because they cut it open to extract it. Yeah, it's not great. But when they do take it out, when they like take that piece out, the doctor took that piece out. It was like a shard, of toenail that had grown in there. And then he asked me, he was like, "Do you want to keep this?"
Toenail come with the ingrown. Put an ingrown toenail in your toe. They tell a man come with the tea and rum to your nail.
He asked me if I wanted to keep it, and I was like, I was 14. And I was like, "Ew, no, like I don't want to keep that." I regret that so much. I would love to have, because he would put it in a little bottle, and I would have had a little bottle with that like shard of toenail. That would have been fucking cool to have.
I wanted to keep my wisdom teeth, and they said no.
You guys
weird.
Turn that into necklaces of jewelry to give to your family,
or sell them on the internet.
Sell them on the internet.
So the wisdom teeth, they're all like shattered, like they're like pulling pieces out, right?
No, that's what they're supposed to do. I had an old fashioned. I went to the past. I went to the fucking 1830s to get my teeth pulled. They didn't give me laughing gas.
That's wild.
They locally numbed me, kind of, but only on the inside. So everything on the outside I could feel. So I was screaming and crying and shaking and having a panic attack. And they pulled out full teeth.
Damn.
And this other nurse, the dental hygienist nurse, had to come in and rub my stomach because I was having a panic attack.
That's incredible, Aaron. I'm so sorry for your pain. That's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
I was like, everyone gets to have fun stories where they're on like laughing gas or they get put under and they come out and they're saying like funny things and being funny and weird. And I was just like going like this on the way home, being like, I don't think I'll ever go to the dentist again.
I feel like the most terrifying
had to rub your stomach.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like that would be more anxiety inducing for me, is like if I'm having all this stuff going on and then somebody starts rubbing my stomach, I'd be like, get the fuck off me.
The first dentist and assistant were so scary and so mean and so condescending. And I kept going, I can feel it. I'm so sorry. It's not like I feel like a pressure or pinch.
Oh, yeah.
I can fully feel what you're doing. You need to numb me more. And they went, no, you can't. And I went crazy. I went absolutely fucking crazy. And so this sweet woman who had the nicest eyes I've ever seen came and she rubbed my stomach. She was like in her 50s and she's like, it's okay, baby. It's okay. And I was like,
after you were done and you're like, hey, can I thank that woman with the heavenly eyes that rubbed my tummy? Were they like, what woman?
No, they were like, you mean Kyle? And it's just the janitor who's like, you're welcome.
I mopped your tummy.
We understand that you are, John, that you are having a panic attack while you're at the dentist. We want to calm you down. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this group of 3 very attractive mall cool girls. They're going to come and they're going to talk about your penis. They're going to do it in a way that is demeaning, belittling, and in front of you. And that's going to help you calm down. That's going to be something that's going to be calming for you.
Well, you're right. It's going to change the way you see sex and your body the rest of your life.
They'll be drinking Orange Julius while standing in front of a B. Dalton.
They're mostly going to say ew and then take a sip of their Orange Julius.
Ew.
They will say no. They'll say ooh and no, and they'll rotate between those two things, and they'll drink their Orange Julius. And then
occasionally one will go, yeah, sure.
But then they'll also develop a plan halfway through where they say, hey, John, Brittany loves you. And like, she went, shut up.
Do you guys think that we were 3 teenage girls at a mall in our past lives?
100%.
I definitely was. We understand that you're having a panic attack. We're going to play at very low volume a sound recording of your parents having sex. So that's going to be something that's going to calm you down.
And it's going to put you
into
Sounds like a monk's chant.
I can't think of just anything that would make me more uncomfortable than a stranger just rubbing my stomach and telling me I'm okay.
We see you're having a panic attack. We're going to play Hey Riddle Riddle at 1.5.
No, please.
No, please, anything but that.
Put me on.
No. It'll be an earlier episode, like in the 1 through 20, like when you didn't know what.
No.
Wow. Oh man.
Aaron, I heard a little rumor from a popular mall girl that you have some questions sourced from our Discord.
That's true.
That are possibly ones we might ask.
just so everyone is keeping track, that is correct. We can talk to each other for about 10 minutes before we
and then we hit a wall.
And then we run into it.
And then our lawyers step in.
Yeah.
Our lawyers step in and remind us that we have to legally get to something.
We gotta talk about something.
I'm having a pretty terrible start to 2021. I have January is always crazy because it's pilot season. So I have a ton of auditions, a ton of voiceover auditions, and I'm having a bunch of due dates to submit for TV shows to write. And you guys, I'm not doing anything well.
Oh no.
I know. And
that's still cool. All the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. I just wish that I get so frustrated because I wish everything was spread out. And I'm really trying to find a job, and I don't know when I'm moving or where and how. And I'm okay. First question.
Aaron, do we need to check your stomach? It could be that you have the same thing Brisket had.
Can someone rub my belly?
You might be full of ribbons.
But if anyone's if you write for a TV show and you're hiring, and you want me, I'm very good at stuff. I'm just good at, but not. Anyways, what?
Was that one of the questions from the disc?
Yeah, that was one of the questions.
I believe she was a good writer until she spoke, and then I was baffled.
And so and what's interesting, let me go back. Okay, so
in summation,
except after C.
Everyone in the Discord did that thing where they mostly did bits instead of ask questions. So it might take me a little while.
God bless them, That's what they're there for.
Dig through it.
Wait, I just came up with a joke real quick. Can I do it?
Oh, please, yeah.
So the real popular sea shanty is when the Tillerman come with his sugar and tea and rum or something like that.
And but tea and rum, yeah.
Instead of the Tillerman, what if it's the Stillerman? And we say, waiting for the Stillerman come, who brings his Owen and Vincent Vaughn.
I like that a lot.
Because Ben Stiller was in a lot of movies with Owen Wilson.
Well, what about can it end with can you milk me?
I think so.
I have nipples. Can you milk me?
Can you milk me?
What about the Stiflerman? And then we talk about Jason Biggs and fucking a pie. And then
MILFs,
as well.
Yeah.
I'm too young to really know a lot of American Pie.
One year at Bandcamp Pie, put a flute in my pussy. It writes itself.
This question is from Goblin.
Hi, Goblin.
This one is for Adel specifically, I think. In an earlier episode, Adel called goblins irredeemable monsters or something to that effect. What did he mean by this?
I can't possibly have said that. There's no way to prove that. I call them irredeemable monsters.
I guess in what context are you familiar with a goblin?
I guess the movie Gremlins.
Are gremlins goblins?
They're little goblins, but I feel like goblins were trademarked at the time. There was a 1-year period where goblins were trademarked, and that happened to be, I don't know, fucking 86 or whatever Gremlins was made. And so Spielberg was like, well, we can't have goblins, so let's have groblins. And then fucking Orson Scott Card, or what's the guy's name who did Star Wars? He was like, well, why don't we just call them, instead of groblins, we call them gremlins. So that's the history of that.
Wow, that was like a beautiful, well-written essay.
Thank you. And if anybody has any essay jobs out there and you're looking for someone to hire, please hire me. I feel like goblins are irredeemable monsters because they're pure evil and they look like pure evil. So if you don't look like pure evil and you are pure evil, you're redeemable. If you look like evil but you're good, you're redeemable. But if you have both knocks against you, you're irredeemable. I'm sorry. I've spoken.
Well, you guys, now you can quote Adel on that. It's on film.
So what's interesting about that is I asked Adel what his familiarity with goblins and where his opinion on goblins is coming from, and everything that he said was about gremlins, which I don't necessarily know that gremlins are goblins.
Did you Google it?
No, I didn't. I did not Google it.
Gremlins is goblins.
I'm most familiar with goblins from the first instance that I heard, I think, about a goblin was the Little Orphan Annie. That poem that the goblin's going to get you if you don't watch out. Are you guys familiar with that?
No.
You're thinking of Gloria Estefan. The rhythm is going to get you.
Dude, that's thank you so much, man. What would I do without you?
The
You guys
goblin
don't
is
know.
gonna get you. Goblin is
Goblin
gonna
is gonna
get you.
get you.
Tonight.
It's James Whitcomb Riley. Little Orphan Annie's come to my house to stay, to wash the cups and saucers up and brush the crumbs away, to shoo the chickens from the porch and dust the hearth and sweep and make the fire and bake the bread to earn her board and keep. While all us other children, when the supper things is done, we sit around the kitchen fire and has the mostest fun. Listening to the witch tales that Annie tells about, and the goblins will get you if you don't watch out. You guys don't know that poem?
I've
Never
never
heard this in my
that.
life.
Wow.
And
Okay.
did
I've
I
never
avoid it?
read Little Orphan Annie.
Well, Little Orphan Annie, I don't know if James Whitcomb Riley was the one who wrote Little Orphan Annie, if he wrote the poem Little Orphan Annie.
I have to
I don't
assume
know.
this is what the movie and the musical are based on. I have to assume.
I don't
Annie?
know. I have no idea. All I know is
Was it
the
a comic?
goblin's gonna get you if you don't watch out. I must have heard this when I was a kid. I don't know.
The
Oh,
first
yeah, I
instance
hope
of
so.
the first instance of goblin from my childhood had to have either been, if there's goblins in Labyrinth, that would have been the first instance, and if not, it would have been like reading Spider-Man with Green Goblin and Hobgoblin. Who's calling?
Guys, I'm getting a FaceTime from my nephew. Should I put it
Yes.
up on the stream and see what he has to say?
Yeah, and ask him
Let's
about
see.
goblins.
Hey Kevin, what's going on, man?
That can't be his real name.
Is Kevin Riley calling?
He can be, sure.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm recording something for our Patreon right now, and I was going to see if Kevin Riley wanted to say hello. Hi,
Oh,
Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Say
If
hi
you can hear
to
us.
say hi to Adel and Aaron. You can't hear them, but you can see them. He said hi, Adel and Aaron.
Is he wearing a shirt that says Epic?
What does your shirt say, Kevin Riley?
It says Eric.
Maybe it says outer space.
It says outer space.
That's a shame he can't read.
Genius.
Oh, it says epic genius.
Well, that's an oxymoron.
Yeah, he thinks it says outer space. What are you up
Will
to,
you
buddy?
tell him I like his shirt?
Boring.
What was
He just said
that?
boring.
A little rude.
All right, I'll
Feeling?
call you I'll call you later.
What do you think about goblins?
See ya.
Oh, so close.
That
That's outstanding.
really hurt my feelings.
he just looked down at his phone and said boring.
Can you tell him I like his shirt? Boring. He's a popular mall girl.
GPC, you knew he would say that to us, and you just everyone in your family just instantly.
Boring.
He'll take my brother's phone and just FaceTime everyone that he knows. Like he'll be like, I want to call
Aw.
Uncle Jesse. I want to call Uncle John. He'll just go down the list of everyone he knows. But when he calls you, he does not want to talk to you. He just wants to like check in on you for like it's like he's calling you, but it's like, hey buddy, this is a 2-minute conversation. I don't want to be here all day. And then I'm gonna go play around and do other stuff. And you're not here with me. So
That's fantastic.
the
He's
other
like, "What
day-
do you want?" And you're like, "You called me."
The other day, my little brother said that he called me and he had the FaceTime out and he was like, he wanted to make calls. And he was like, who do you want to call? And he goes, nah, I want to call my backup daddy. And that was me.
Oh my
That's
God, that's
fantastic.
amazing.
Because I guess I'm his godfather. And I think the way that he understands that is that I am his backup daddy.
That sounds like a Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn movie. Backup Daddy.
Oh my gosh, it's like you're a
Ugh.
backup singer just behind. His dad being like shooby doo doo dooby dee doo.
Backup
Oh,
Daddy.
anyway.
Doo.
I'm backup.
Well,
I'm
that was
backup
very
daddy.
exciting. I hope we get another FaceTime call. The next
Oh,
question.
I sent my little brother a Switch recently because I wanted him to play Hades. And so he was just setting the Switch up, and that's why he called. I had a text message from him I didn't see.
Bless you.
Bless you, Aaron. Oh, bless you again.
This is what happens.
One more.
Patron, this is what happens. If we don't talk about Aaron for more than 2 minutes, she starts to sneeze for attention.
I need attention.
She gets the sympathy sneezes.
I saw a tweet of someone said that they sneezed once in class when they were like in middle school, and the teacher was like, "I know you're trying to get your crush to pay attention to you, but please quiet down."
That's life ruining.
And I was like, "That's what it
epic.
is to be a woman.
That is
That's outer
epic.
space. That is outer space.
Your existence is distracting to other people." The next question is from MoxieBot, and she says, "How is Lou?" Lou is great. She's better than she's ever been. She's so cute. I wonder if she'll come say hi. Lulu, come here. Come
Well,
here.
depends on if you're talking. They could be talking about Lou Gehrig, in which case, not doing
Not
so
great.
hot.
Come here, Bubba.
He had him.
Diagnosis.
He had him disease.
Mhm.
Yeah. Ooh, ready, Lulu? Okay.
Wow.
Oh wow, look at Lou.
Look at
This
that
is how Lou
sheen.
is.
Look at that coat. Look at that
And she
beautiful
looks
coat.
like velvet.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've gotten like 2 board games because of y'all. What do you recommend I get now? What are some board game recommendations?
My favorites that I've mentioned recently, Clask is amazing. Wingspan is really good. Seven Wonders is one of my favorites. Seven Wonders Duel is one of my favorite 2-person games that Gemma and I love.
Do you have the expansion to Seven Wonders Duel?
No.
I don't either, and I've heard it's very good. But
I'll have to
we
get
played
that.
Seven Wonders Duel a ton, and now I'm like, oh, I should get that
So
expansion.
good. Splendor is amazing. Sagrada is incredible. A really good press your luck game. I think it's called Ink and Gold, and it's just you press your luck to see how far you can go or how much you can collect before you succumb to the dangers.
Lou's making little noises.
She did a big old yawn.
Yeah.
What's
She's
the one
getting
you
right
love
up there.
that I've only played once? Spirit Island.
Spirit Island.
That
Yeah,
one's fun.
that's probably one of my favorite board games. What's the one? Jaipur is really fun. 2-player board game. Mariah and I've been doing more 2-player stuff in lockdown.
Here's what I recommend most of all, and this is maybe not the best advice, but I think it's okay. Follow Rush Howell on Twitter and reach out to him. That guy is a board game fiend. That guy has and knows more about board games than anybody else alive, I have to imagine.
I gotta also say, like, the Board Game Geek Top 100 is a pretty safe bet. Like, pretty much anything on that top 100 is going to be an enjoyable play. But it really doesn't matter, because if you're playing like in lockdown and you can't like be around people, it depends on like, are you looking for like 1-player board games? Are you looking for like, are you in lockdown with another person? Are you looking for 2-player things?
Yeah, maybe they live in a house with like 4 people. Like
if you can do like bigger board games, there are also some. I mean, I haven't played a bigger board game in a long time, except on Tabletop Simulator, which is like a game you can download on Steam that people like build board games into, and then you can play them on Tabletop Simulator, which is where I play like Spirit Island with like Arnie and my brother and stuff like that.
Aaron, what are your favorite board games?
I haven't gotten to play that many board games during lockdown. Sean and I got one. I'll maybe comment on the video with the one that we played a bunch during quarantine, like early quarantine. But I'm not on top of that. Like, I have a lot of friends who love it, so it sort of happens to me often. But I don't have one that I like am obsessed with and can recommend.
Yeah, I miss having board games with friends. That was a bad question because it makes me miss something from my old life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fuck you.
Thanks a lot.
That one was from Felix, by the way. And Felix, thank you
thanks,
for the great
Felix.
question.
Thank you, Felix.
This one's from Goblin again. What's everyone's favorite Muppet?
I feel like maybe we talked about this. To me, number one with the bullet is Sweetums. Sweetums, I think, is by far the most perfectly crafted. Henson broke the mold when he made Sweetums. And then rounding out my top 3, I'd have to say Beaker and Swedish Chef, I believe. But I'm totally a Fozzie. But I don't know how much I like Fozzie, but I recognize I am a Fozzie.
That's bold to be able to be like, I don't like him, but that's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why I don't like him. I guess it all started with
number 1 with a bullet, Sam the Eagle.
Please stop shooting these Muppets.
I won't stop hunting eagles. That's the one thing I will not do.
You killed 2 Muppets with one bullet.
Mm-hmm.
Both of your favorites are not surprising to me at all. Just, I don't know if that's an interesting thing to say.
BBC looks like Sam the Eagle.
That's why. I don't know anything
with
about the Muppets.
Those severe eyebrows.
You need like the eyebrows and the nose.
I like when Sam the Eagle tells everyone to quiet down.
Fuck off.
Oh. Now you sound like the dad from Succession.
Thank you.
Fuck off.
You're my boy. You're my number 1 boy.
Your daddy's candy baby.
My favorite, this is really hard, but I really love Gonzo and Rizzo in combination. Mm-hmm. Like when they're together, that's my favorite thing in the Muppets, specifically Muppet Christmas Carol.
Are they like best friends? Because Gonzo's girlfriend is a chicken, right?
That's true, but bros before hoes in this situation.
Hell yeah.
I also love the shrimp Pepe, who didn't show up until like Muppets from Space.
Yeah.
the rhythm in which he talks is I turn into a little kid. Like my baby brain loves him. But Gonzo and Rizzo combo.
What's the one? There's a guy who's dressed like he's we've talked about him before, and I never remember his name. He's dressed like a Shakespearean character, and
oh yeah, he has a fish.
Blow stuff up, or he has a fish or something.
Oh, I'll look up his name.
New Zealand. Is
I'm
that
sorry?
him? Is that somebody? New Zealand. I could be having a stroke.
I think you. I
also
that's
might
the
have
name of a
Shit,
Muppet.
you're right.
I also might have been
That's his
combining
name.
two, because there's one that's like violent, who's like terrifying. I feel like I'm combining two Muppets. I love him, but then there's another one who's like just constantly blowing shit up. Like all he wants to see is the world burn, and I don't know his
I
name.
think there's someone in the Discord whose Discord name is New Zealand.
Is
Well,
that
there you go.
true? That's amazing.
I think so. Yeah.
I have another question that I absolutely love.
Yes.
This one's from Noah. Since stuff's been so stressful lately, I'd love to hear some of the crew's favorite methods for taking care of yourself. Fun meals, good movies, whatever makes you happy. I want to hear about it.
Okay. This is a good one.
Someone had a tweet the other day. That was the crux of it was it's kind of amazing that getting up early and exercising actually fucking works. But it's that to me is like I have been getting up at like around 6:30 or 7 every day and working out for an hour, and it's made the days dramatically better. Just to like I have energy. I don't feel like there's a feeling that I get a lot of the times when I'm not like doing anything where I'm like, oh, I just wasted a whole day. Like I didn't accomplish anything today and I wasted it. So if I can like get up in the morning and work out for an hour, I feel like even if I don't do anything the rest of the day, I did something that day. And it is nice to like get rid of that feeling that hangs over my head all day of like you haven't done anything yet at 8 a.m. And at 8 a.m. I can have like a coffee and be like, oh God, I've done something today. So that for me has been pretty life changing.
What kind of workouts are you doing? Is it like walking or running or?
I'm glad you asked, Aaron. I get a lot out of this little guy right here. The treadmill.
What is that?
That's a little bottle of water. So you can see it. You can't see it. Yeah, the water's inside.
I chase Mariah around, threatening to douse her with water. And
to yakety sax. So the treadmill that I have is not really a good running treadmill, because any treadmill that's like not like a gym treadmill, like it starts to feel pretty shitty at like 7 miles an hour. It'll just feel like it's shaking and it's going to explode. But it can get up to
that's your new character name, right? Jim Treadmill.
Hey, Jim Treadmill here, and I'm the new substitute gym teacher for everybody. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. I did not bring appropriate attire, so I am dressed in the lost and found.
Let's see. I didn't bring any rope for you to climb, so let me just use my fingers.
There you go, Jim Treadmill here. Yeah, so I somewhere between like around 4 miles an hour is a good clip for me. And then I have some free weights down here on the floor. I don't have a good space to work out, but like basically that free weights. I have like a weight bench. And a lot of push-ups, and that's my workout.
That sounds great. Something I've been doing that helps me immensely is I bought a little like hexagonal clock. So it's like this little clock, and depending on what side you put it on, one side is like an hour timer, one is 15 minutes, one is half an hour. So it's just like a little timer that I have for my office, so I can take it around the house. And then what I'll do, I try to do this between 3 hours and 6 hours per day, depending on how busy Gemma is. But I try and break up my day into hour-long chunks. So I'll be like, I'm going to read for an hour, and I set my clock. Or I say, I'm going to write for 30 minutes. Or I'm going to listen to music and not podcast for an hour. Or maybe podcast and not music for an hour. Or I'm going to walk around the block, or whatever it is. So I'll give myself like a list of 20 different things I could do. And then I pick 3 to 6 of them and do them for half an hour to an hour. And that just helps like break up my day, because otherwise I'll like sit down and be on my phone for what seems like 5 hours, or I'll like watch TV and just like waste away and the day's gone. So I feel like just having a list of possible things I can do and then holding myself accountable with this clock or alarm has been so helpful to break up the days and make me feel productive and like I'm equal parts input and output and actually doing something.
Damn, these little things do look really cool, and I gotta say they're out of stock. So,
oh really?
If you want one, tough fucking cookies. Wait until
Steal
February.
one from Adel.
Yeah,
No,
Adel's
my
got the
clock.
last one in America.
Oh god. Aaron, what have you been doing?
Well, I'm having a hard time now because I haven't been able to do a lot of the stuff that I love to do, but to like for self-care. But I'm like obsessed with self-care stuff. And maybe for my next newsletter post, I'll put like all of the products and stuff that I use. But I love the Habit app. It's really, really good if you have ADHD and you have a hard time remembering like small tasks that you're supposed to do during the day. It also will make a certain noise if it's like time for me to drink water or time for me to like change what I'm doing task wise. So that helps a lot.
What's that noise? Can you make it now? Is it like a ah?
It's a ah! Oh my god.
I'd buy an app that like overreacts, like it's an overly dramatic friend who,
oh my god. Oh god.
Oh no! You.
Oh shit! Fuck. Okay. Don't snooze me. Oh my god.
James,
So
you were just doing the grape lady.
I got a seasonal depression light, and that helps a lot.
Nice.
So especially when you're like getting organized for the day, I think having that light on you, if you live in a place like Chicago, that helps a lot. One of a game changer for me in my space to make my space feel really good is I try not to have like the lamps or the lights on. I try to have like other sources of light. So I'll go around in every room in my house. I'll like light a candle or have twinkle lights or like different starlights. So my house is like has like an ambiance the whole day with the windows open. So it feels
Very cool.
peaceful. Try to make every room in your house smell pretty good. That helps a lot. I have a ton of stuff. I've been trying to do like facial massage to calm down. If you just listen to like Enya and then you just like put the trigger points in your head, that helps a lot. I got a ton, so I'll make a whole post about it.
What do you guys land on like as far as like stressful slash or a de-stressor cooking? Is cooking like something that is stressful for you or like de-stresses?
It used to be stressful for me, and then in the past like 2 years it's become the most relaxing fun thing to do. And especially this is going to sound like an ad, but I don't mean it to
HelloFresh. I was just about to say.
HelloFresh has been so nice where it's like, to me, a lot of the stress was like, do we have this thing? If not, I have to go walk to Walgreens or the store and get it. And then we have extra. Do we have someone that's expired? How expired is it? So I feel like just having everything set is like, so I can just put in headphones or chat with Jem or whatever. And just like, my new favorite thing is just like chopping vegetables. So,
oh yeah,
so relaxing and like satisfying. And I get little ramekins. I bought a bunch of glass ramekins so that I can almost,
we did too.
It can look like a cooking show. And Gemma will be like, why are you?
A lot of dollar stores have those, by the way. If
oh, really?
Are interested? Yeah, a lot of dollar stores have like the little like glass containers to make things look more satisfying. If people are interested,
I'll zest and quarter a lemon, and I'll put the 4 lemon quarters in a glass ramekin. And Gemma's like, "What are you doing? Just leave that on the cutting board." And I'm like, "No, it's like a little. It's cooking with Adel. We got to put everything in its little thing." And she's like, "Now we have to wash that." And I'm like,
you're gonna pick up the ramekin and dump it into the pot, like just dump 4 lemon quarters. Like no recipe ever calls for.
That's
I have to have it all aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, it's one of those things that HelloFresh was definitely very helpful in that, but we don't use it anymore. But we used it for maybe 4 months in the pandemic, and we saved every recipe that we got. But now, if like when we like plan out like what are we gonna have this for the week, but when we make our grocery order, we just go grab those recipe cards and be like, let's do this one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one, and then we just buy all of those ingredients, and then we cook them. But it is like one of those things where cooking always felt like somewhat stressful to me in that if you don't have all the things that you need for this specific thing, it's like, can we even make that thing now? Because like if you're missing one ingredient, like will this thing be good without tomatoes? So it takes like planning to make sure that you have tomatoes and then that those tomatoes are not going to go like bad because you didn't make that thing. And that part can be stressful, but the actual execution of like chopping vegetables, putting everything in a pot, that to me, I feel like is very like therapeutic and relaxing and calming. I do enjoy that part.
I think actually I lied. The most satisfying thing is a hot pan with a tablespoon or 2 of butter and then putting garlic into it.
An onion?
Like an onion.
Oh yeah.
Like that like 30 second to 2 minutes of just like the smell and the sizzle. It's just like this is Aaron is in a trance.
Can I tell you one of my favorite things about cooking is if a recipe, like sometimes a recipe, especially like a Mexican dish, you'll be making like a salsa. It'll be like dice an onion, and then also take about a fourth of that onion and mince that onion, and then you get two piles of onion at the end, where one is like larger diced pieces and one is the tinier minced pieces. I like taking something, making one pile of something out of it, and then making a smaller pile out of that other thing. It's like I had this one onion, and I just deconstructed it into its like natural progression of like little tinier onions.
It's like a Russian nesting doll.
It makes me feel very accomplished.
I got one of those chop things where it is like
Food processor,
like a grid. No, it's like a little grid with
The
like
slap chop thing.
Yeah, with a thing underneath. And then you put the onion on it, and then you press down, and it's tiny little onion cubes. It was like $4. And now I want the little garlic thing where you pull the little string and it chops up the garlic really finely. But
a lawnmower, a garlic lawnmower.
Yeah, garlic lawnmower.
You pull
the little onion thing is
onion press, garlic press.
The best. I like, because like the chopping everything in really small pieces. A lot of HelloFresh calls for that. So like to just be like boop, and then you dump it out.
So satisfying.
We have a food processor that we always forget that we have until we're done fucking like mincing 5 radishes, and then we're like, God damn it, the fucking food processor. The food processor.
Are you George Costanza?
We gotta get this food processor, Jerry.
I love it.
So that to me is another fun de-stressing thing.
Everyone DM me videos of you with a hot pan, olive oil or butter, whatever your fat source is, and then garlic and onion. And
add
just
Adela and I on it.
Send me those videos, and I'll just I'll zen out to
that. Next question. This one's from Goblin. How's the Tiki Bar coming along, Adel?
Tiki Bar is, I'm going to be honest, not a lot has been done as of late. So here's what's going on. Here's the updates. Someone, I forget their name, but a very nice fan sent me like a hand carved sign that says, so
you're going to die, bitch.
Which I love. Thank you.
His name was Jigs.
Thank you.
Rig Paw Jigsaw. But it says, so Rafai Tai is the name. So it says like Rafai Tai Tiki Bar, established 2020 or 2021. And then JPC got me the most incredible coasters for my bar that say Rafai Tai, that are absolutely like, could not be more perfect. Chef kiss. But the missing piece of the puzzle is Aaron is supposed to help me sort of design it, along with Sadia was going to help with that as well. So I'm waiting to I have to put down some amount of rug or carpet or something, or thatch, and then have to get some furniture pieces in there. So there's still a long ways to go, but I'm very excited. And once Aaron can kind of help out with that, then I'm excited to get the ball rolling.
That's all. Please. Please. Oh,
she's already sent me a lot of cool lamps that I'm like, yes, we need this lamp.
It's so fun to send you stuff for that. Another de-stressor that I hadn't done since like 2012. So if you used to be into this, I suggest going back to it. Is like getting back into Pinterest has been very, very soothing to me. Just like I'm trying to be like very, very considerate about what I buy in the last year. Like I only want to buy like vintage stuff, or like buy used things, but I also want to be really intentional, so I don't just buy a bunch of stuff I don't need. So that helps so much to like look at really beautiful images of a house and be like, this is exactly what I'm going for. So next time I'm at an antique shop or whatever, I'll know exactly what I'm looking for.
My sister did that to make her place more hygge, which is like the Danish art of like
hygge chaka.
Yeah,
and also I want to say, just because I know he's a little shy about it, JPC invented a new website app that I think you all should be investing in. It is called Vintrist. It's a Vin Diesel Pinterest. So depending on what type of Vin Diesel characters you're looking for, or what you think his
what kind of interest you got happening. That's the soundbite that loads every time you load the website.
And you're making a ton of money.
Well, yes, but it's literally a ton of money. So that's the goal, is to make 2,000 pounds of money, and it's a pay what you will. Heavier money preferred.
Adel.
Not even pay what you want. Pay
Why
what you
does
will.
JPC
Pay
always
what you
talk about
shall.
the weight of money? It's not really the weight that matters.
That's what
Yeah,
matters
I
to me.
don't know.
So someone once told me that the waiting is the hardest part.
Isn't the weight of money a Dave Matthews song?
Waiting makes the heart grow fonder.
Oh, that's the space between. I'm sorry.
I also will throw out that this is I've been very strict. Me, I budget very strictly. I've probably talked about that at length on this podcast and other places. But during lockdown, I haven't really bought any like clothes or anything, because I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. This is a free sweatshirt from Patreon that I'm wearing. And
I have mine right here. I love that sweatshirt. It's so fleecy and good on the inside.
Gemma stole mine. And on the bottoms, you're wearing saran wrap?
In saran wrap. Here's the thing. I don't like this sweatshirt. This got to be one of my least favorite sweatshirts. It's not a very good sweatshirt. It doesn't fit me very well, but I don't care. It was free. I won't throw it away. I won't throw it away because it's like, oh, this was a free sweatshirt. Like this, I'll wear it until it like wears out. But I have been putting off buying a new pair of like winter shoes. I don't know about you guys, but like I wear like wool socks exclusively in the winter, which are thick, which means I can't really wear a lot of my summertime shoes with the wool socks because my feet don't fit in them, because I'm like right in the middle of like most of my shoes are 10.5, but I have to wear 11s in the winter because of, you have to size up a little bit. Yeah. So I have a pair of shoes, my one pair of like winter shoes that are not boots, because I don't want to take like the 3 minutes to put boots on and off every time I go out with the dog. And they're just falling apart. And finally, like the bottom of the shoe just fell off. And I was like, motherfucker, I got to get some new shoes. But Adel, I don't know, this is when we were in the studio. This could have been 2 years ago. Told me to get some Allbirds. Adel, are you still enjoying Allbirds? Do you still have those shoes?
Not only do I have those shoes, and they've lasted me for this long, and they're amazing, and they also work in the winter because they're like waterproof.
Yeah.
But I also bought a new pair that I was so excited to get, and then I haven't even worn them because the old pair is holding up so well.
I bought like some high top winter weatherproof Allbirds and I was like, do I want to do this? But honestly, I've been wearing them for a few days now, and they're fucking great. Like they're very warm in the wintertime, and it's one of those things that I just put, like, literally my shoes fell apart while I was walking. And I was like, I knew for a year that I had to get new shoes. Like last winter, I was like, these won't make another year. So
they just turn into dust.
They truly, yeah. I think was one of you with me when we were doing that? It was like a remote for World News. This was a couple years ago, and we were walking to the gig, and my shoe fell apart as we were walking. It was like I was like wearing this like pair of dress shoes that I only used for World News. They were beat to shit, and the bottom just like pieces were falling off of the shoe as we were walking. I was like, I gotta perform in this shoe. Like there's nothing later I will get a new shoe, but.
What I will never understand, and I was guilty of this towards the end too. It took like a year of me being a full-time cast member to be like, oh, I'm just like you guys. The amount that the World Newscast didn't give a shit, didn't replace, didn't clean any of their suits, shoes, ties, button-down shirts was troubling. So we are the only show in the building that was wearing suits and nice dresses. You guys, that closet was...
If you were to see or smell those up close, you would scream.
Here's the thing. The audience is 15 feet away from you minimum at all times. There is never, and if you were to tell me that people are only going to stay 15 feet away from you at all times, I would wear shoes until they disintegrate. I would wear the stinkiest clothing. I would never shower again. That's what it is, because it doesn't matter. You can't see.
These boys would show up every single Saturday, put on the same shirt, tie, suit, and shoes. Go on stage, sweat for 4 hours under hot lights.
Mm-hmm.
So another day's work, put it back in the closet and do it all again the next week for a decade.
Now, Aaron, to be fair, sometimes people's shirts got so disgusting that before the show, they would run over to Nordstrom Rack, buy a new one, and wear that one for the show.
Sometimes their shirts got so disgusting that rats would grab them, take them into the walls to make nests out of them. And so we had to adapt.
One time also, Rob went to Nordstrom Rack before a show to buy a new shirt, and he got the shirt, and it was one of those like French shirts that didn't have a collar. It was like a white shirt, but no collar. So it was just like a white button up to the neck, but there was no like flip collar.
And
We
Brett
bullied
made fun of
him
him.
into
Yeah.
the point of oblivion.
I don't think he ever wore that
It
shirt
was so
again.
fucking funny.
Everyone
No, he
bullied him
did.
within
He
an
wore
inch
that
of
shirt.
his life. Oh, God.
I remember, so maybe 2007 or something, when Jason first asked me to start sitting in with World News. He was like, you have a suit, right? And I didn't. And I go, yeah, of course. And he's like, great. So I'll see you in 2 days for the show. Bring your suit. So I just went to Target and bought, it was like a $35 suit. And that was 2007. That's the same suit I wore to this day. Never had it steamed. Never had
Okay.
no dry cleaning. Like that suit, and it's full of holes. Like the legs were full of holes, but you couldn't tell because the audience is so far back.
My strategy is I kept like 4 different dresses in the closet to rotate them, as if that made it any fucking difference. But I always had to run to Nordstrom Rack if I had forgotten bike shorts. So I have this collection of fucking shorts I had to wear because I was like, what if I play a cat? What if I'm rolling around and playing a cat? Because the shows I had to do when I was just wearing a dress with no shorts, I wasn't funny. I wasn't yes-anding. I was like, nobody move. We're all just going to stand in scenes. But right before the lockdown happened, I finally was like, okay, I've been a full-time cast member for a while. All of my dresses are like $10 used business lady dresses. And I bought a dress and I got it tailored.
Whoa.
Never got to wear it.
Wow.
It's right here. It's a beautiful
Put it on
black
for the live
business
show.
dress. Yeah, I'll wear it for something. I was devastated. I was like, what the? I was so pissed.
I remember I bought a suit for World News, and it was like it was off the rack, right? So it didn't really like fit me super well, but it wasn't bad. Like I could wear it. And I was like,
Aaron, real quick, JPC thinks off the rack means off the hook.
oh, dude, this suit was off the rack, baby. But but don't worry about it. I was totally off the rack. No culpability for buying this suit. It doesn't matter. But I took the suit to this. There was a dry cleaner a block from my house when I lived in Wrigleyville. And it was this super nice Korean lady, and she did all the tailoring in the shop. Like she would lock the door, pull the screen, and then like you would, change, put on the thing, and she would like tailor it for you. So she did the whole thing. I was like, I need to tailor this suit. I need like these things. I put on the suit. She like folded it around for a while. And she's like, oh, no. I was like, oh no, like I just like the shoulders, I think need to like come in a little more because like that's the way I want to wear it. And like the pants. And she was like, no. It doesn't, no need. And I was like, oh yeah, but I want like this is like what? But I couldn't like communicate that. And she was like, no. And I was like, oh, so you just did okay, cool. That's so I tried once and then I never got it tailored again because I was like, well, no, it was at the end of the day, it's not like it was a suit that I was gonna be wearing. I was wearing it for World News, so who gave a shit? But it was so funny for her to be like, no, this is fine as it is.
That's fantastic. Your choices are bad. Stick with what I say.
Maybe she was right. Maybe I was wrong.
I just had a memory. I think it was you, JPC. Remember when there was people backstage at World News filming?
Oh yeah. I remember.
And we were like trying to change, and then the guy just was zooming in on my feet.
Yeah, he was
and videotaping me putting my shoes on. And I think it was you, and you were like, get out.
I was like, hey guys, time to go. We're changing right now, and everyone's changing in the most we're taking shoes off, like in the most trying to get you to understand that it's time to go. Yeah, the guy had the camera pointed right at your feet.
It's a documentary, okay? And I told you it will be released one day.
It was so jarring to me that it was a moment where I was so out of my body being like with shock that I couldn't advocate for myself. I was like, oh my God, this is so fucking weird and I'm so uncomfortable, but I'm stunned. And I was so happy that you were like, yeah, what the fuck? Get out.
The fucked up thing about that was Sharna told those guys that they could film backstage with us. And I'm like, this is a dressing room. Like you cannot film here.
It's not
like,
just a green room. It's us. I was literally in my underwear and they were like zooming in on my butt and crotch. And I was like,
that guy was really into my feet.
I was like, you could be in here for just like hanging out as a green room. But like if you for changing, you got to get the fuck out. That was wild. Absolutely wild.
But then we followed that guy to the bathroom and we started filming him when he was taking a big old dirty shit.
Yeah, and it was dirty, I would say, because it's like most of the time, if you're an adult, you know how to do it clean. This guy was not interested in that.
I just had
Makes it
another
serious, boss.
memory.
It's what we call a 6 napkin shit.
When we would be there, a lot of people were that's ridiculous.
That's bad.
A lot of people in the audience would be very, very drunk. That just was part of the gig. And Atra went to the bathroom during an intermission for World News once, and she came back laughing so hard because she had seen something so funny. So a girl was so drunk, and she was looking under the stalls to see if she could see feet, if she could go into the stall, because she was just trying to find a place to pee. But then she goes up to a stall where the door is wide open and there's no one in there, and she still leans down to look under to see. And we were crying, laughing. I was like, that's the funniest thing ever. She's like, no, there's people in there. And then look down again when the door's wide open.
That's
I
so
think
funny.
about it all the time. Let's see.
I remember being real quick. I remember being on a bar on Clark Street. This is maybe 10 years ago, but there's this like Swedish bar. It's not called Blunkers, but it's some Swedish bar. It's kind of divey with a pool table. But anyway, I go into the bathroom there. And it's again, it's like kind of a hole in the wall. So I shut the door and I put on the lock and I have to take a number 2. So I'm doing my business. And then somebody tries to open the door. And at the first time they try, it doesn't open because it's locked. And then the second time they push it so that the lock that was like precariously angled to where it closed came undone and came open. And the guy stood there for a minute and stared at me. And I was like, oh, hey, I'm in here. And then he like shut the door and was screaming and cursing. And then he reopened it and yelled at me and then slammed it shut. And then when I got out of there a few minutes later, he confronted me and tried to fight me because he goes, you wanted me to see that. And I was like laughing, like, what are you talking about? It's like, you fucking left the door unlocked because you wanted me to like walk in on you. And I was like, we're going to fight because you think I wanted you to see me taking a shit. But this guy was like insane. And I'm like trying to tell my friends what's going on and they don't believe me. And I'm like, no, this guy's trying to fight me. And they're like, come on. And I'm like, what is my life? Like this guy's going to bar fight me.
Why does that happen to you all the time?
I don't know. But eventually I like leaned into it and I was like, yeah, dude, we're going to fucking fight. And he eventually like left. But it was just like, I'm like, I'm this isn't a ploy. Like I'm just going to the bathroom. Yeah.
But if it's a ploy, what a ploy.
What a ploy. I got away with it.
Works every time.
Yeah, my everyday life is filled with people trying to fight me for some reason or another. Aaron, what's the next question?
Speaking of tiki drinks, any good tiki drink puns that you're gonna have in your Felix?
I haven't really thought about it too much. I'm sure I'll have pun names, but I think I'll also do like I'm gonna print up menus, but I think I'm also gonna do like play of names from friends who helped. So like JPC will have something. So JPC might be like a juice pineapple colada, or there might be like
JPC Breeze.
JPC Breeze. There might be a Kiki Tiki that's an Aaron drink. So I think more likely the people who helped bring it together are gonna get menu items versus me just kind of coming up with puns.
Adel, would you say that you're in no rush to do your tiki bar because we are in the middle of a global pandemic and people can't come to your house?
I'd say that's the number one factor.
Can my drink be orange juice with whipped cream on top?
Yeah, we'll call it fucking disgusting. I did look into
Aaron, can we call that a hurricane?
I'd say that the two biggest factors are, one, we're in a pandemic and nobody can come over. And 2, I just spent $6,000 on my fucking cats.
Oh God!
I did look into the machines that make Dole whips, like the thing at Disney World. But I want to get one of those for the bar because to me the Dole whips, those Dole pineapple whips, are like the most tastiest fucking thing. So I want to have that for folks who either don't drink or who maybe on certain days are just like, I'm not feeling it, or I want something else. I want to have like a dessert option that's not alcoholic.
Sick.
Yeah, I got one of those industrial strength like deli meat slicers that you see at the grocery store for guests, and then boom, 2 weeks later, it's fucking May and we're 2 months into a pandemic. So I bought one of those in April, like an asshole, thinking only another couple of weeks. And then everyone's gonna have deli
There we
meat.
go.
We'll have our
JPC
deli
does.
party. Deli party.
The last time I was at Costco, I almost bought. They had legs of Iberico ham with like a knife, so
Oh
that you
my
can
God.
do. And I almost bought it because it was like $95 or something, which is a lot. But at the same time, I'm like, I love ham. And then I think Gemma was just like, "What are we fucking doing? Like, can you please not have this in the house?" And I'm like, "That makes sense."
Oh, okay.
I will say Costco is 100%. There are things at Costco where it is 1,000,000% impossible to justify it as a purchase. Being like, I like muffins. Do I like 20 pounds of muffins? I don't think so. Like, I don't. It's just food that will. It's only food that you can get if you have like 14 kids or if you're going to like a party or something. You can't just buy that for yourself and be like, well, let's throw away 8 of these in a day. And $95 worth of ham is probably the same way.
JBC's telling the story and he just reaches over and takes a muffin over a huge
Can I tell you
Anyways.
guys? Can I tell you guys my like Costco purchase that is an immense amount of thing? I've talked about this on the show before, but it is not something that I shy away from. And in fact, the last time I was there, I bought
Dip?
2 of them. Dip. It's the fucking white queso dip at Costco. So fucking good. We put it on everything, and it's like, hey, what? You know what? Why don't we throw some queso on this fucking thing? It's so good.
We went to Costco 2 weeks ago to get new glass. We got right at the end of it was like December 31st. We went to use our insurance to get a pair of glasses because we've been lazy about it. So we slipped in under the wire.
And you and Gemma share one pair, correct?
One pair of glasses. One lens is my prescription. One lens is hers.
Well,
fair.
one side is your prescription, the other side is hers. So it's like you trade them and you snap the blankets back either way.
But we saw that queso and I was like, oh, here's the queso dip that JPC is always raving about. And so we grabbed it and it was as advertised. It was absolutely fucking delicious.
It's so good.
I think we put like carrots in it. We put chips in it. We put pretzel bites, like pretzel, whatever those are called.
We baked
Nubs.
some sweet potato wedges, just like cut up sweet potato and baked those into like wedges or long sweet potato fries and dipped that in it. Oh, so good.
All right. Well, now I'm hungry.
Well,
Great.
of course.
I need glasses right now too. I'm about to buy some. I really am trying. I don't know. I think I should just go for it because I don't really wear glasses out in the world, and I really want to get purple cat eye glasses. But I'm like,
100%
should that be my one pair of glasses? If I lose my contacts or get
100%.
an eye infection and I have to walk around the world like that, I'm gonna be like, oh fuck. But you know what? I really want them, so I'm just gonna go for it.
Well,
And
I don't know what that is. Purple. Oh, like cat eye, like got
The
it.
shape of them.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, you won't be walking outside in the next year, so no worries.
That's true.
These will be homebound. Let's do one more question.
Yeah, Aaron, I think that those would be great. I think that you should definitely get those purple cat
I don't
eye
think
glasses.
there's many more questions.
Can you also become a small town librarian?
Yeah, I wonder if I can do that. Yes. I'm really excited for our live show this week. It's like been the thing. It's my golden thing in the future that I'm looking forward to, and I'm just so excited.
Your golden parachute is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
This will save you financially and also allow you
We're
to escape
ruined.
the law. No, it's truly
Yeah.
the last one was because we hadn't seen each other in person for months and months and months.
Oh yeah.
And then we did the live show and I think it was late October. And it was just like being in the same room with you guys and then like sharing the stage and like getting to do our thing. It was just like, oh, this is what life is. And like, what a joy it is. Like, I can't wait to get back to this daily. And then
I
it
got
taken
so
away
giddy
from us.
and giggly
Yeah.
when we were there last time. I was just like dying laughing at everything, and I felt so good, and I'm just so excited. I had been so isolated.
It's so wild too because the setup there that they do at Lincoln Hall is it's so weird to walk into a room that normally fits like 300, 500 people. I don't know how many people can fit in that fucking theater, but it's huge. And then there's just like no one there. There's like 4 guys with cameras on opposite sides of the room for each other. And then there's like one table in the middle. It's just like, it is kind of surreal. But then once the chat starts going, it feels like there's a full room of people in there because the chat is just going like a million, miles per minute. And that just, I feel like that even that chat energy is very like infectious for
Yeah.
live
Oh
show.
yeah.
I'm so excited.
So that's this Friday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
I believe so, yeah.
And I'm really excited about my outfit.
And we hope Erin's gonna wear her what'd you call it? The biker
No,
shorts?
I'm not gonna wear this dress, but I am gonna wear a dress and I'm gonna look very cool and very good. So get ready.
We hope you have your tickets. We hope to see you there. Headgum.com/live, I believe, is where you can get tickets. And I think we can go ahead and say we're going to do about an
Anthony
hour.
Kiedis.
Anthony
Oh, I'm
Kiedis
sorry.
will
No,
be
you
there.
do your thing. I'm not.
Anthony Kiedis.
Well,
Shit.
you gave away now. So we're gonna do about an hour of Hey Riddle Riddle, and then we're gonna do a half hour of some public access TV improv. So
Yeah.
start coming up. We're gonna source the names of the public access shows that we'll be doing from you all in the chat. So start coming up with some fun names, and we might do yours.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
Hurry
Yeah.
up. Oh, Kermie.
I'm so surprised your favorite Muppet isn't Miss Piggy, because
I do love Miss Piggy.
favorite impression.
Yeah, she just is. She makes sense to me. I get her.
So if do her and Kermit ever canonically get married? Because wouldn't her name be Miss Piggy the Frog?
Her name would be Miss Frog. Piggy is her last name.
Okay, what's her?
No, I'm
do
just
we know her
kidding.
first name?
No, I'm just kidding.
Is her first name Miss? Is her first name
Yeah, what
She
the
looks
fuck?
like a Heather. She looks like a Heather to me.
Heather? Heather Piggy?
Miss Heather Piggy. Welcome for the first
The
time
frog.
as husband and wife. Mr. and Mrs. Frog.
Heather the Frog. I love that. Heather the
that?
Frog.
Yeah, Miss Piggy's name's actually named Heather the Frog. That's canon.
Well, so Heather the Frog. Kermit's last name is not the Frog. Kermit is just Kermit the Frog because he went to school with like 4 other Kermits. So
his real
there's
name is
like
his real name
there's
is
like
Kermit Mario. It's like a
there's like
Mario.
tall Kermit, Kermit the Frog, black Kermit. Like they have all these.
Please blurm it.
Blurmit.
Nom
nom. I'm gonna have avocado toast, and then I have to record a bunch of auditions. That's what I'm gonna do today. What are you guys gonna do with the rest of your day?
So I'm editing Bill Buds right now. We had Arnie Parrott on to talk about the new Miley Cyrus album.
Fun.
And I'm maybe like I probably have a couple more hours of editing to do on that. So that's my rest of my day.
I'll be Gemma and I started watching High Maintenance on HBO last night, so we're probably gonna finish the first season, and then I have to prepare for what I'm gonna do for the Patreon tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's
true.
Do you guys have for whatever reason, Mariah and I have been on a like movie rewatching kick, and last weekend we watched all of the Lord of the Rings movies. So this is my question for the both of you. You've both seen these movies, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Multiple times.
Some of my favorite movies.
Do you have a favorite from those 3 movies, like, or do you have like an order of like where you like how you rank those movies in your mind?
Oh, 100%. So I grew up absolutely obsessed with the movies and obsessed with the special features of them. And I did the Lord of the Rings tour in New Zealand when I went there. And every year we do a Lord of the Rings day where we watch all 3 in one day. And especially now, I have a bigger appreciation for the first one, but my order is always 2, 1, 3. But the older I get, the more I love and appreciate 1.
I definitely go 1, 2, 3.
I think I'm the same way. I'm 1, 2, 3. I think the first one is so good because obviously it's Fellowship. They're all together, but it's the only one where they're all together. So it feels like an adventure movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it also feels it's an origin story. The part in the Shire, the first 40 minutes of the movie in the Shire at the beginning is so good. But then the Council of Rivendell, where Frodo says that he's going to take the ring, and like Gandalf just closes his eyes because Frodo's signing up this death sentence. That part fucking gets me every time. And
it also has the best quote in the whole movie, which is "In my axe."
And my axe,
movie 1,
Yeah,
and also
emotional.
"You shall not pass" is
Fly You Fools.
Fly You Fools.
I like the second one because I do like
the furthest away from home I've ever been.
Hey guys, where are we?
Second breakfast.
11Z's. I like the second one because I do like the ants. Some people don't like the ants. They think it's like a slower part, but man, give me Treebeard holding those little hobbits and calling them goblins. I love that part. And then the third movie, the part that I think I like the least of the third movie is the whole Aragorn and the ghosts part, where it's like, okay, like whatever. This is like boring to me. Like ghosts are now showing up, and of course the ghosts are going to be good at battle. They're fucking ghosts, and they can hurt people, but
unfair.
nobody can hurt the ghosts.
Unfair.
Fuck off.
Pac-Man rules? No thanks.
Hey, why did we do a whole battle where the ghosts show up last? Let's get the ghost in here first. That's an instant win. Fucking other team has ghosts.
Hey guys, we're playing the Globetrotters. This is already an uphill battle, but I guess they have ghosts now.
They have ghosts.
They have ghosts, and the thing about these ghosts is they can physically affect you, and you cannot physically affect them.
You can't block their shots. You can't steal from them.
How
they can do
convenient.
What is it? It's movie 2, right? Where it's like look for me on the 7th day, and
yeah,
that part is like tingling in
yeah.
Well, I love the second one because it has Rohan, which is my favorite place in the whole series. The Battle of Helm's Deep, which I think is unbelievable. I think
that's incredible.
Yeah,
that's so hard to make that part feel like it's so long, and to have the momentum and the energy go through all of that. I think it's so entertaining and amazing.
Plus, you get Carl Urban, Horse Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Carl Urban with a blonde wig.
Hey, come on down to Carl Urban, Horse Lord. I got your horses. I got your.
So it begins.
I heard that Peter Jackson pulled Carl Urban aside and was like, "Hey, look, man, we're gonna have to tone down the C word like a lot because this is a PG-13 movie, so we can't be calling people bloody C words." I know it's like it just comes out naturally for you, Carl Urban, but you got to tone it down. You're Rohan.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I know I've told this story on the show before, but it always cracks me up. So I was going through a breakup like 4 years ago, and in the breakup,
no, I'm just funny. It cracks her up.
It just cracks me up. In the breakup conversation, the guy was like, "Your next boyfriend's gonna like his favorite character in Lord of the Rings is gonna be those fucking trees." And I was like, what a weird thing to say. Also, that's just very funny. And then the next guy I dated on our first date, we were talking like Lord of the Rings came up, and he asked me who my favorite character was. And I told him, and then I asked him, and he said the Ents, the trees. And I laughed in his face, and he was like, "I'm sorry, is that a bad answer?" And I was like, this is the best inside joke callback. This is the funniest life callback I've ever experienced. Because that other guy said the tree thing out of fucking nowhere in the middle of a breakup. We weren't talking about Lord of the Rings.
Did the guy you go on a date with, did it look like your ex, but with like a mustache and a hat?
Yeah, 100%. But isn't that so wild? Like, he said that out of nowhere. And then the next first date I go on, that guy says it.
What's wild is that
mind-blowing.
Every breakup, the last line that someone hears from their relationship with me is "Fly, you fool," and then I fall off a cliff or a bank or whatever is nearby. I fake my death. Basically.
The last thing I say is, "I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to help you."
Help you.
I feel like that should be like American Airlines should, like, as you board the plane, they should be like, "Fly you fools and fly you fools."
Okay, keep your secrets.
Actually, that's a lie for me, because the last line of any relationship I have is when like maybe like a week or so later, my ex is bringing me over a box of stuff that I left at their house, and they've got some clothes, some CDs, and then of course my deodorant, and then I say, "And my axe."
Body spray, of course.
Body spray.
Although I made that joke before on the podcast, and you shit all over me, JVC. So
well, yeah, I guess I really needed the setup, huh?
It would have been her.
Mr. Frodo. Well, I think that does it for us. I guess we should close out. If we haven't done this before, we should close out by saying our favorite Lord of the Rings character. I think mine, and this is mostly because he was in the books, but then in the movies, he just happened to be like a very cool character. Legolas, for me, in the books, I was like, love the bow and arrow. I think it's like the coolest weapon ever. Love, you got this otherworldly elf who's just, very keen senses. So Legolas in the books, Legolas in the movies.
Gotta say, from a movie's perspective, because I only read 2 of the books and they were so fucking boring that I was like, I can't read this third one. And the movies were like out when I was reading the book, so I was like, I'll just watch the movies, and they were way better. Favorite character, Boromir, absolutely number 1. I love him because he's a traitor. I love him because he's weak. I love him because he has that big horn. He tries to kill the hobbits, which is classic. I would definitely do that.
Classic Boromir.
Classic Boromir trying to kill those hobbits. Love Sean Bean.
He is a character that I hated when I was a kid, when I was watching those movies, but now he's definitely 100% one of my favorites. It's so good. It's such a good, complicated character.
He plays it so well. Also love the meme of one does not simply walk into Mordor.
Mm-hmm.
I just, that's, what a classic delivery, Sean Bean.
That was a good thing for our culture, I think.
Oh yeah.
I saw a thing that said that he was the one actor who like didn't know his lines because he was cast so late in the game. So several of the scenes, especially at the council, and I think that exact line, you can see on camera he's looking down at the script, and he had no lines memorized. He had to read them off like a cue card or script.
That's
Wait,
hilarious.
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Sean
Oh,
Bean,
go ahead.
also one of my favorite Bond villains. I love him as Trevelyan in GoldenEye.
Very good.
For England, James? For Mordor.
Aaron, who's your favorite?
Eowyn definitely is my favorite, but I like Pippin a lot too.
Eowyn. A-O-N.
That's amazing. Yeah, she's my favorite for sure. I love when she turns with the sword and he's there. That's the hottest thing I've ever seen in my entire human life. But I love Pippin as well. And I love Mary, but I really love Pippin.
Well,
and then Aaron, you said that you not only do you love
Mary Pippin Kill,
Eowyn, but you love OAN, correct? Because it's like it tells more of the truth than Fox News does.
And you love,
and what's that other one?
OAR, the Wild Game of Poker.
News, fucking. You guys, if you want to be a part of the club, make a fucking like knitting club. You can belong somewhere. We don't need to destroy the country so you feel like you belong somewhere and you're important.
And if we do have any listeners that are also QAnon supporters, keep the faith, because
don't JBC.
It will come, and we will see, and there will be a
time. Bye forever. Bye.